So yesterday I was in what most people would consider a pretty depressed state. I was down bad. I was thinking negative thoughts. I was questioning basically everything I'm doing currently in regards of like my career, my goals, all these things I'm doing, some stuff I'm doing behind the scenes. And I was dwelling on my emotions and how I felt way too much, which was just causing it to kind of spiral out of control. And there was also just factors subconsciously working against me. You know, I woke up a little later than I'd like to. I think I had too much exposure to both like media, like phone apps and stuff, but also just stimulating myself from the start of waking up with YouTube videos, podcasts, whatever, as well as just not seeing the progress I want to see yet in a lot of different things I'm working towards in my life. One of the examples would be my recent video did a 10 out of 10. All right, no more vlogs for you. Also, since I'm doing a mini cut, it was in the evening, and to be honest, I've only had one meal, and that was breakfast/lunch, which was probably 700 something calories. So I was starving and didn't even think about it because I was just dwelling on the fact of, I wish I was this far in this, or I wish I was doing this, or I wish I saw success in this. All these thoughts were just circulating, spinning, feeding off each other. My emotional reaction to my emotions was just causing it to ramp up and up to the point where I was like, I can't do anything right now. I'm not in the environment to do anything right now. I'm not in the headspace to do anything right now. I just need to get up and walk and face whatever's going on. So I did. I got up, I went outside, I went for a walk, and then I started to have the realizations of, oh, it's this factor triggering emotions. Instead of just rationally viewing these emotions, I'm just emotionally reacting to these emotions, and it's just feeding, you know? So I was just observing my thoughts. I wasn't dampening them with any podcasts or trying to work. I was facing them head on, letting the rational side of my brain take a neutral perspective, and essentially I was arguing with myself. And then I had the realizations of all these things, all these factors that were causing me to feel this way, as well as reassuring myself that, bro, chill out, you're doing what you need to do, you're learning, things are gonna work, you're gonna figure everything out. I'll always have a baseline sense of urgency when it comes to the things I want to achieve and the level I want to be on. However, I realized that I was just becoming irrational. After that walk, I went and got food and ate, and I felt even better, and I realized, wow, a lot of my mental state was because I was starving. And then today has been completely different. I woke up before 8, I read for over an hour, cooked breakfast, had a work meeting, fleshed out this video I'm making right now, and I'm just feeling pretty good despite me formatting an SD card that had a lot of valuable clips for the mini cut video I want to make soon. If that same thing would have happened yesterday, I would have been down catastrophic. Oh my god! And the only reason all of that was happening to me yesterday is because of emotion. Emotions and your mentality about things is much stronger than most people think. There's a pretty infamous study that was done in which two groups were presented with different labeled milkshakes. Group 1 was presented with a milkshake that was labeled as fat-free, low-calorie, healthy diet, you know what I mean. And the second group was presented with a milkshake that was decadent, indulgent, a traditional milkshake, you know, high in calorie, probably high in sugar and fat. And as you would expect, ghrelin, which is a hormone that is known to drive hunger, when someone drank that decadent, indulgent, high-calorie shake, their ghrelin levels dropped quite a bit. Versus when group 1 drank that diet, low-calorie shake, their ghrelin levels kind of stayed around the same. The thing is, it was the same milkshake. Both groups drank the exact same milkshake, meaning hormonal changes in their body were brought about from their thoughts and perception of a milkshake and not the actual contents of the milkshake itself that they were ingesting. The things we tell ourselves or believe or create in here can affect us physically. And honestly, this may be conspiratorially, but I think that's something that has maybe been known. Big Pharma doesn't want us to know that. Why, if you could outthink a certain illness or problem, why would they want you to know that when they could give you a pill you need to take every day and buy every month? I know my audience is mainly just guys, so for the men watching this video, it is masculine to be in control of your emotions. As men, our minds are made to run on the more rational side of things by default. However, when I say controlling your emotions, I don't mean putting on a smile on the outside while letting your issues fester in your mind. I'm talking about taking the emotions, the thoughts that you are struggling with, and confronting it with rationality, optimism, neutrality, and really discovering the roots of your problems and the actions you can take, or if you can take any actions at all. Because either way, it's your responsibility to either take the actions needed or your responsibility to remain stoic about it and realize this is out of my control. I cannot control this. I need to accept it and move on. As my journey in self-improvement progresses, I have come to realize that I am my own worst enemy. There's no one out there running around working harder against me, doing things more to my detriment than I am myself. While it may be a big pill to swallow that the universe isn't conspiring to make your life or make your mental state worse than everyone else's, it's also liberating in the sense of You just need to get control of yourself. I mentioned this in one of the recent videos, but throughout my childhood, I was diagnosed with depression. While I'm not gonna say I had or I have depression, I will say that yes, for a prolonged period of time, I was in a very depressed state. And I didn't know anything about self-improvement or mental health. I was constantly stimulating myself with video games, YouTube, photography, prioritizing things that brought nothing of benefit to my life or my growth as a person or as a man. And honestly, it's a wonder that I didn't come out of that phase even worse off than I was. And I contribute a lot of that to the fact that luckily I was entering my first step of self-improvement, lifting weights. It helped me a lot mentally. It got me off video games. It was mentally holding my head above water. It was giving me a new baseline of confidence, and I was finally working towards something and seeing growth both physically and as a person. And I think knowing this message is much more important as time continues, because we are at war. Basically, every app on your phone is designed by super genius nerds that have split tested every method possible to addict you, messing up our dopamine, giving us FOMO, causing us to compare ourselves to others, which immediately worsens our mental state and emotions. And I'm sure there's lots of people out there that are like how I used to be, you know, they're not really aware of this. I know it's cringe to use the term NPC, but they're kind of an NPC in that sense. However, you've made it this far in this video. You are not that. You know that it's your responsibility and your duty to yourself to actively try to keep your emotions in control and thus keep your mental state in control, which gives you much more control over your entire life and probably your success as an individual. It's not going to be that easy. I will say one thing that has helped me a lot in this is meditation. When I'm doing pretty well and meditating frequently, I've noticed I am much better at observing my emotions from a backed up perspective instead of just being right in the middle of it and let it cloud me, let more emotions get involved. I'm emotionally reacting to my emotions or reacting to my emotions. Meditation will teach you how to take that step back mentally, observe your thoughts, observe your emotions, observe the things that is happening in reality, and remain neutral. And in that neutral state, you can decide how to react or to react at all. If you want to get even deeper into this topic, there's some books you can look into, such as You Are the Placebo, The Magic of Thinking Big, and The Psycho-Cybernetics. If you have any thoughts or experiences relating to this topic that you'd like to share, please comment.
Yo, Kenny be spitting, you better hit that subscribe, you feel me?